Welcome to the Crown Society channel. Imagine stepping into a store where a single jacket, a watch, or a suitcase costs more than your entire home. For the ultra-rich, that isn't a fantasy, it's just another Tuesday. These aren't the Gucci's or Louis Vuittons you see splashed all over social media. To the 0.1%, those brands are practically mainstream. Today, we're revealing 15 ultra-exclusive luxury brands that only billionaires, royals, and true insiders know, brands that define quiet wealth, not loud logos. Let's begin. 1. Goyard. You won't find flashy ads, websites, or celebrity campaigns here. Founded in 1853, this Parisian house has quietly served the world's elite, from the Rockefellers to European aristocracy. Their hand-painted white pattern appears on trunks and bags, starting at $2,000 and reaching well into six figures for bespoke creations. This is luxury that prefers privacy over attention. The insider secret: unlike other brands that open stores in every major mall, Goyard limits its comptoirs to only the most prestigious locations globally. They don't even sell their products online, forcing the ultra-wealthy to travel to Paris, London, or New York to make a purchase. This barrier to entry ensures that when you see someone carrying a Goyard, they didn't just click a button, they made a pilgrimage to a temple of craft. It is the ultimate if you know accessory that bypasses the noise of modern marketing. 2. Richard Mille. These watches aren't accessories, they're engineering achievements. Starting around $80,000 and often passing $1 million, each Richard Mille uses aerospace materials and Formula One technology. Rafael Nadal famously wears $1 million Mille while competing because it can withstand 10,000 Gs of force. For the wealthy, a Richard Mille is proof of belonging to an elite circle. The engineering marvel: what truly separates these watches is their weight, or lack thereof. Some models weigh less than a standard credit card, yet they house more complexity than a sports car engine. Collectors often refer to them as racing machines for the wrist. To own one isn't just about telling time, it's about owning a piece of the future that has been tested under the most extreme physical conditions known to man. 3. Loro Piana. A brand that doesn't scream wealth, it calmly radiates it. They source the rarest fibers on earth, such as Vicuña wool gathered once every 3 years and baby cashmere taken only once in a goat's lifetime. A single jacket can cost $20,000 or more. The true value is in the quiet sophistication only insiders recognize. The fabric of kings, Loro Piana's obsession with quality goes so far that they have worked with the Peruvian government to help save the Vicuña from extinction. When you wear their fabrics, you aren't just wearing clothes, you are wearing the softest material possible to human touch. It is often joked that once you wear Loro Piana cashmere, everything else feels like sandpaper. It is the uniform of the man who owns the private jet, not the man who works on it. 4. Buccellati. This Italian jewelry house creates pieces that look like lace, except they're entirely made from gold. Their honeycomb engraving technique can take months of handwork. Earrings may cost $50,000, and custom pieces can climb into the millions. When celebrities want something no one else will wear, they choose Buccellati. The art of gold, each piece is treated like a Renaissance sculpture. The artisans use a technique called rigato, where they engrave hundreds of tiny parallel lines onto the gold surface to give it a silky, fabric-like finish. This isn't jewelry you buy at a department store, it is jewelry that belongs in a museum. Owning a Buccellati piece is essentially owning a piece of Italian history that will likely be passed down as a family heirloom for centuries. 5. Kiton. True tailoring connoisseurs know this name well. Based in Naples, Kiton produces only about 20,000 suits per year, each requiring over 25 hours of hand stitching. Their exclusive K50 line, limited to just 50 suits annually, takes more than 50 hours to create and costs upward of $50,000. No logos, just unmistakable craftsmanship. The master's touch. The name comes from Kiton, the ceremonial garment worn by ancient Greek aristocracy. At Kiton, the tailors are treated like surgeons. They have their own school to train the next generation of masters. A Kiton suit is designed to feel like a second skin. It is so perfectly balanced that you could wear it for a 12-hour flight and step off the plane looking like you just stepped out of a dressing room. 6. Bottega Veneta. You may know the Intrecciato weave, but the real exclusivity happens behind closed doors. Their most sought-after pieces aren't on display, they're revealed privately in appointment-only rooms for long-standing clients. Minimal, elegant, and the true definition of stealth wealth. Beyond the weave, while many luxury brands rely on big gold logos to sell, Bottega's motto has always been when your own initials are enough. They recently removed their social media presence entirely, choosing to let their quality speak for itself. For the billionaire who wants to blend into a crowd while still being the best-dressed person in the room, Bottega Veneta is the only choice. It's about the texture of the leather, not the name on the tag. 7. Brunello Cucinelli. Often called the philosopher of Cashmere, Cucinelli built an empire centered on ethics and craftsmanship. Every garment is produced in his restored village in Umbria, where artisans earn above-average wages. Sweaters start at $2,000, while the most exclusive pieces never reach stores, reserved instead for select clients. It is the unofficial uniform of Silicon Valley billionaires. The humanist vision, Cucinelli believes that luxury is only beautiful if it is created in a way that respects the dignity of the person making it. This humanistic capitalism adds a layer of moral value to the clothes. When a tech mogul wears a Cucinelli hoodie, they aren't just showing off their bank account, they are signaling a shared philosophy of understated excellence and a commitment to tradition over temporary trends. 8. FP Journe. To serious collectors, this brand is sacred. They produce fewer than 1,000 watches per year, each with movements crafted entirely from solid gold. Prices begin around $25,000 and easily reach 7 figures. There are multi-year waiting lists, and new clients often need a recommendation to even purchase one. This is the opposite of mass luxury. The watchmaker's watch, François-Paul Journe, is a living legend in the horological world. He is one of the few watchmakers who still designs and builds his own movements from scratch. Because the internal parts are made of 18K gold, these watches have a physical weight and a luster that stainless steel or brass simply cannot match. If you see an FP Journe on someone's wrist, you are looking at a person who values mechanical perfection over social status. 9. Charvet. Since 1838, Charvet has dressed kings, presidents, and heads of state. A bespoke shirt requires 30 measurements, 6 months of work, and starts around $550. Some clients commission fabrics made exclusively for them, never to be repeated, a level of personalization only old-world luxury can offer. The Parisian institution, located at 28 Place Vendôme, entering the Charvet store is like stepping back in time. There are over 6,000 different fabrics to choose from, ranging from the finest Egyptian cottons to rare silks. They famously provided the shirts for John F. Kennedy and Charles de Gaulle. For a Charvet client, the fit of a collar or the curve of a cuff is as important as the signing of a treaty. 10. Moynat. Older than Louis Vuitton, yet almost unknown to the public. Founded in 1849, Moynat creates handmade trunks and handbags in such limited quantities that certain wait lists exceed 2 years. They don't advertise, and they don't chase influencers. That restraint is precisely what attracts the ultra-wealthy. The heritage of travel, Moynat was the first to create the limousine trunk, designed specifically to fit the curved roofs of early automobiles. Today, they maintain that same level of innovation, using secret techniques to create leather goods that are virtually seamless. Because they produce so few items, owning a Moynat is a signal that you are part of a very small, very private club of global travelers. 11. Brioni. This is Italian power dressing at its highest level. A Brioni suit requires 220 steps and 6,000 stitches. Tailors train for over a decade before making one solo. Ready-to-wear starts at $7,000, while bespoke begins at $30,000. World leaders and Hollywood legends rely on Brioni when they need quiet confidence. 12. Zai skis. Yes, skis, but not ordinary ones. Swiss crafted from carbon fiber, stone, and natural rubber, each pair costs over $10,000 and takes more than 30 hours to build. Seen only on the slopes of Gstaad and St. Moritz, these skis signal winter luxury at its finest. They're for those who treat skiing as a lifestyle, not a hobby. 13. Henry Poole & Company. The original Savile Row tailor, founded in 1806. They invented the tuxedo for the Prince of Wales. Owning one suit isn't the goal for old money, it's maintaining a family pattern book updated across generations. That's not fashion, that's heritage. 14. Christofle. Famous for silverware, their most exclusive pieces belong to the Journe collection. Among them is a handcrafted, silver-plated copper bathtub costing around $75,000. It takes months for master silversmiths to complete. Collectors often buy smaller items first just to qualify for the opportunity to own one. It is a true symbol of refined extravagance. 15. Stefano Ricci. Florence's most extravagant menswear house. Ties start at $250, but limited editions woven with gold thread or precious stones reach $15,000 or more. Their most exclusive experience involves invitation-only events at Ricci's private Tuscan estate, where guests spend six figures to hunt, dine, and privately shop unseen pieces. This is luxury for those who live far beyond the spotlight. The absolute peak, Stefano Ricci doesn't just sell clothes, they sell an entire lifestyle. These 15 brands represent the highest form of exclusivity, where craftsmanship, heritage, and discretion matter more than any loud logo. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the hidden world of billionaires, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Tell me in the comments which brand surprised you the most, and which one you'd choose if money were no object. Like, share, subscribe and comment and press bell icon.